Sound speed. Action.
Okay.
We're rolling.
Oh, so what's up, guys?
I'm hanging out, and we're about to do a crazy podcast in my crazy living room.
See, so I heard it's supposed to be a really crazy winter storm tomorrow. Like crazy winds. It's supposed to be like 1, I think.
Yeah, I'm about
degrees.
to. I'm
I thought it
about
was
to
below
bike
1.
for like 9 hours straight.
It might get below. You're gonna do what?
I'm gonna bike for like 9 hours straight. It's gonna be fun.
Good luck. Let me tell you, if you feel at any time that you should, not be doing that, maybe you should listen to that instinct. You're out there tomorrow.
Yeah. No, I
like try it, but if you,
I put myself on for like 2 hours at the start of the 9 hour period and 2 hours at the end of it, and I'm just gonna go.
Do you have thermals?
And I'll be able to log out whenever the hell I want to.
yeah, like don't push
Yeah.
yourself if you feel
Okay.
like it's like insane out there, because
Yeah, I'm not gonna die for
like
some extra cash on the side.
that's all I'm saying. Like me, I don't even know if I'm gonna go outside tomorrow. I'll see how it is.
I'll take relay being a little bit pissed that I logged out early over frostbite.
Can you say really?
Why the hell not?
I don't know, because you're kind of like, aren't you?
I do runs. I deliver food for a
Courier
company
service.
called
Courier. I would prefer courier service because then you become like a thing for relay. If they don't like your
Yes.
podcast, then
I am a courier.
yes, I am a courier.
Excuse me. I shouldn't have mentioned the company.
Exactly. Well, you know how it is.
No,
So
if
you're
they
a
get
courier.
pissed, then
You know what I mean?
Just
It's,
edit
some
it
people
out.
are very weird about that. Some companies are very weird about it. So I just wanna.
they didn't tell me I couldn't. when
No,
I signed up,
well.
so.
All right.
It's like somebody saying they work for Uber.
Sometimes you're not supposed to say.
I
Because you're a
didn't sign
representative. Okay, I'm just.
anything.
I'm not trying to be difficult. I just, trying to.
I don't think you are.
Yeah, trying to watch out.
Yeah, it's always
Thank you for
be on the
caring.
safe side.
Exactly. So
Play it
yes,
safe.
yes. But now it's 6 to 8 in the northeast.
6 to 8 degrees?
6 to 8 inches.
Oh, inches. It's gonna be 1 degrees in a couple days.
Yeah, that's what I was hearing.
I was supposed to go out Saturday too, but then they canceled.
Oh.
Well, that means you get to be warm inside.
Well, that's true. We'll be inside.
Right.
That's that makes sense.
You're gonna have to do all that extra shit.
Yeah.
Weren't you saying you were gonna go out and film some stuff?
I'm considering it, but we'll see. I might do a little vlog. To see how crazy it is. Take a walk to the grocery store, and hope my feet don't fall off.
Or no, that'd be awesome. I saw that intro video you put out. It's
Oh
pretty
yeah,
cool.
thanks. Cool.
I'm stoked for where your channel's going, man.
Yeah, me too. It's a brave new adventure here in 2018.
And this is going to your channel, I think, right?
I don't know.
Welcome to Chris and Delicati's YouTube channel.
Hey, yeah. I am the Chris Delicati. The Chris.
There's only one?
Well, yeah.
Okay. There you go.
There is only one. There's no one with my first name and my last name. There's a bunch of my last name out there, though.
Oh, okay.
Nobody else is named Chris, as far as I know. And
That's
looked.
That's a blessing in our industry because, like, I'm William Young, and there's like some author and some actor and something like every
And 10 other
profession.
people that are
There's a
just
William Young in
nobody's
it already.
Yeah.
Well, yo,
Common gutter name.
That's me.
And,
I like that. Come on.
And then there's you. You
Yes.
have a very unique name.
Yes, I am the only Homalyn in the world, and I've checked it out. I'm the only one.
Didn't you say that you talked to somebody with the same pronunciation once?
Yes, but they have an E at the end.
Oh.
Alright.
So they are a Homalyn with an E.
So if you Google her, then if an E pops up, that's not her.
That's not me. But her name is because her father's name was Oklahoma.
Wow.
Wait, tell that story. How did you find a person on the only other person on the planet with your name?
Well, I got an email that I purchased some bras, and I had no recollection of said bra purchase. And I looked at the name, the actual name from the credit card, and it said Homalyn with an E. And I forgot her last name. I shouldn't say it anyway. So then I said, there's somebody named Homalyn, and who is this person? So I did a search, and I found this 60-year-old lady who apparently wanted to try that new bra. So the new sports bra. And so I called her up. And I was like, can I speak to Homalyn? And the woman was like, okay, who's this? I'm like, this is Homalyn. And it was probably her granddaughter because she thought I was insane. But she gave the phone to her and she said, I'm like, my name is Homalyn too. And she was so sweet. She's like, I've never met a Homalyn in all my life. And then we started talking and she was so sweet. Because she's 60, so she's been living Homalyn life longer than I am. Alone. Yeah, she lived the whole life alone. Wow. And she told me that her father's name, his first name was Okla, and his last name was Homa. His middle name was Homa.
Really?
His parents named him Okla Homa.
That's awesome.
And her mother's name was Lynn with an E.
Wow. Oh, isn't that how you were named too? Something like that?
Something like that. It's my father's name was Homer, and then he wanted a Homer Jr., so he's made Homer into Homa. Because in Belize, where we have the Caribbean accents, you pronounce Homer, Homa. So it's Homalyn. That's how you actually say it. But, you know, nice. Homalyn is good. I like it. So we had a nice talk. She's a sweet lady. So I am the only one without the E. I claim it. Everything is, I can have any website is mine.
And now that you told this story online, 1 million people are...
No, don't tell people about that. Like, there's no other Homalyn. Don't name your children.
At least you weren't born a boy and he didn't name you Homer Jr.
Homer Jojo.
Then the kids would call you Hojo.
Exactly. I don't want to call Hojo. The kids could call you
Like
Hojo. Exactly. Yeah. Which I love The Simpsons.
Of course.
My toys. Has seen any Simpsons fans get on here.
Yeah.
Simpsons are great.
She's a serious diehard Simpson fan.
Simpsons are lovely.
And a little bit Family Guy too, I think.
Not as much, mostly. Futurama.
Simpsons. I'm like the only person
you're like
ever
an alien.
So if you're an alien hybrid, please watch his video channel where he does not discuss The Simpsons anyway.
YouTube.com/Concept has free pizza.
Concept has free pizza. If that doesn't get you, I don't know what else does.
Right.
And then you have
Who doesn't like free pizza?
I don't know, so
I hate free pizza.
Again, this is why he's an alien.
You should have that.
Like, he understands that other humans do like free pizza.
I want you to have a meme like on the side with someone's face is like, I hate free pizza, like just coming down the side. That'd be hysterical. Like, who doesn't like free pizza? I hate free pizza.
I'll try that out. You want to make that, Chris?
Yeah, it could work.
That'd be cute. Like, just, I hate free pizza. Oh, okay. Well.
Make a whole video about it. Like, you're over there like, well, we call it Concept Likes Free Pizza because, and then the guy comes and just slides in, and it's like one of those static photos that talks to you.
Yes, yeah, like that's what it is. Like.
Just make the weirdest channel trailer ever.
You can do something like that.
Aliens like freaking out about pizza. Like, why would you eat this crap?
It's so cheesy.
Do you think aliens would like pizza?
It's hard to say. I mean,
it's a lot of cheese.
It really depends on their metabolism, right?
That's true.
How they can process dairy?
Yeah, because most things are like, I mean, we don't really know what an alien would be like, but most things are lactose intolerant on this planet.
Most things,
so
yes.
Who knows what an alien...
The other thing to consider is then tomato sauce. I remember reading somewhere that the original species of tomato was like poisonous.
Really?
Like I guess I don't know. I read this somewhere. I could be wrong, but it was something like it was harsh. It was at least poisonous to people who weren't used to eating it.
Was it a lot of citric acid?
I know they have nicotine in them. Did you know that?
I did hear about
That's
that.
tobacco.
No, tomatoes have nicotine.
Probably a small amount, but I know what you're thinking about.
There was a Simpsons reference
episode
where he mixed a tomato and tobacco and made tobacco.
Cross-bred them. They were like tomatoes, but they were brown on the inside. They tasted like cigarettes.
Wow.
Yes.
And people were addicted to them.
Yeah.
He was selling them.
And Ralph was eating. He's like, it tastes like grandma.
Oh God.
But it was so then that was the tobacco. So that way you got your vegetables in. And your nicotine. Yes. Okay. He made that by mixing all the seeds together, planting them, and then covering them with the rods, nuclear rods.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Because he works at
So
a
they're
nuclear power
radioactive.
plant.
Radioactive
Yeah.
goo, and there you go.
So he used the nuclear rods to mutate the plants
Yes.
together.
Yeah.
Yes, obviously.
That's how that works, everybody. Just
Yes.
in case you want to make a crazy hybrid.
When you make tobacco, but he was gonna sell it for millions, but I think the plane crashed by addicted
The
animals.
cigarette company wanted to buy it from him. But like she said, the animals were addicted to it, so they sabotaged everything.
They
There
crashed
was
the
like
plane.
this one goat that just that smuggled itself on the plane.
The one goat that just didn't take
Yo,
enough.
That's gonna that's an actual real possibility today.
What?
Goats?
To
Which
macro.
thing?
To-
Oh.
Oh, I thought it was
Like,
goat.
They can actually make that.
Gene editing is like crazy now. Like they already did something. They put the genes of a fish in a tomato, a certain type of fish that lives in an Arctic environment, so the tomato wouldn't freeze in the winter. Something like that. I remember reading
What?
about that. They put the genes.
But does
in-
it taste like fish?
So
No,
they made
it's like a tomato. It just doesn't freeze.
it's
Oh.
tomato.
That's the only.
Yes.
That's the only thing that tomato got from the fish. Was
Oh,
that it
okay.
doesn't freeze in the winter.
Yeah, they do a lot of that. Imagine though if they started making potatoes that had nicotine in them, and then your potato chips really are addictive.
That would actually be good. I mean,
Now,
That
brings
good for the
me-
company.
That brings me
Yeah.
to another thing. I saw on a video on YouTube. I think it was one of those Planet Dolan videos or something similar to that. Again, I don't want to say a YouTube channel, and it's not that one. So let's just say it was one of those top 10 videos.
One of them.
It was like the top 10 food additives that you don't want to know about or something like that.
And you had to watch it, even though it says you don't want to know about it.
Something like that. And it was I always have to watch that, you know. I don't want to know about it. Click. But anyway, it was saying like the process of making Pringles creates like some kind of new molecule, not a new molecule, but a molecule that doesn't belong in that category. That's actually like a carcinogen or something like that.
I believe
It's
it.
just potato
Well, that's what
dust.
happens when you cook anything.
Like
Like,
Yeah.
the process of making the Pringles specifically though creates this toxic thing. And I was like, ooh.
Yeah, but technically, like, if you when you burn your toast, everything black that you're eating is a carcinogen.
Yes,
Like,
true.
I don't know if that necessarily means that you're gonna die if you eat potato chips, but they're not healthy anyways. So.
Well, potato crisps. Pringles or potato crisps. They're not potato chips.
They have those veggie straws. You were telling me they're supposed to be healthy.
They're supposed to be.
I don't know.
They taste pretty good.
You like
Yeah,
them?
they're pretty good.
Well, I don't like the taste of vegetables.
I was looking at them and I don't know enough about health to tell. There's a lot of salt in them, which may be good, may be bad, according to recent studies. But
Well, from what I heard is it's not even salts and fats that are bad, it turns out. It's really just sugars that are really the bad thing.
right, yeah,
They
sugars-
change their mind
Yeah, I know. It's
all the time, so you just...
It's crazy. I think they're getting closer though, because I've heard some like stories about like why they used to think like fat was the worst thing ever and all that. It's like some people who really wanted it to be that way were the same people who were making the study happen, and they thought they were like saving the world, so they would ignore certain things. And
Wasn't that all the way a lot of studies are? And a lot of people would say a lot of studies are like
turns
that.
out like
Yeah,
that more
well,
often than not.
yeah, a lot of the time that does happen. You have to look at like the big picture, and you have to have enough studies from enough different sources to really tell if something's true or not.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Well, what I think, is you can eat anything really, but I think that one of the main like keys is like staying active too, in conjunction with whatever the fuck you're eating.
That's huge.
And a lot of people don't,
Yeah, I think exercise would be like the main thing. But anyways, I don't know enough about health to really be talking about it and telling people what to do.
Just spitballing here what
But-
we think is.
What I find interesting about that is like the more we learn about stuff, or we realize we don't know. So it's like,
well, that's yeah.
yeah, it's like because we're realizing like, oh wow, this study changed and now it's this and now it's that and now it's that. It's because we actually are realizing that we don't have enough information to say what the fact really is, when we used to think like, oh, all the information's right there in front of you. It's really not. And,
well, you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So the more you know, the more you realize what you don't know.
Right.
That's just how it is. You're not gonna know you don't know something until you find out more things. Well, yeah.
I think there's this quote. I can't remember who said it, but it's, somebody who was really wise, I guess. They said, no, but seriously, he said like the smartest man, the wisest man will always admit that they don't know something first.
Yes.
that's the truth.
Yeah, that's it.
And another one said, and this quote I do remember who said it. It's a big one of those conspiracy guys, but it makes sense. Like, said by Jordan Maxwell. For those of you who know who that is, you'll recognize this. He said, never trust somebody who says they found the truth. Trust people who are searching for the truth.
Oh.
I like that. Who's Jordan Maxwell?
He's like, he's into like this esoteric stuff, like all this dark stuff, like stuff that's hidden. Like basically, he's like into like the origins of magic and how it relates to like
the
world today. Yeah, the occult. He studies the occult a lot.
That's interesting.
He's got a lot of videos about it. I think I'm gonna look something up. I want to look him up on here.
I saw that you
exactly what he does.
the Onion article about bringing Saturn back to Christmas.
Yeah, I was definitely a headline reader with that one, but it looks like it'll be a really funny article. I'll have to go back and read that.
Well, basically it was people saying bring Christ back in Christmas.
Yeah.
And the Onion article was about that Christmas wasn't Christmas. It was originally a festival,
pagan
holiday. So the article was this guy trying to bring Saturn back into the pagan ritual. Like people forget about the pagan ritual. Now people don't say happy Saturn, like
Saturnalia.
Yeah, exactly. You can't even say happy Saturnalia with someone being offended. So I thought that was hysterical because if you want to go back into the origins, it's a pagan holiday. So let's go back.
100%.
Bring back Saturn in your pagan sex festival.
It says here on Google, Jordan Maxwell is a American researcher. That's it. Yeah, that's all.
There you go.
All right.
American research.
I'll look into him later.
Yeah, interesting character though.
But yeah, and I was looking up like the history of Christmas, and even when it was a Christian holiday, it used to be like the day of the year that like the peasants would riot in the streets.
Yes.
Or like they would just go out and get wasted and do crazy
That's
stuff on
at
that
first.
day.
At first, Christmas was outlawed because it was something that was debaucherous.
Right.
And, it was just a big thing of debauchery.
Who was it? It was Constantine. Constantine said, "Well, it would be easier if I just make it a Christian holiday."
Yeah.
So these people didn't have to go and break the law to celebrate it. Or
Yes,
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's the guy who made like Christianity
The
world religion.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny.
Yeah,
He figured it'd just make his life easier to do that.
You know where like the whole like the reasoning behind the time of year is and everything, right?
I thought it was the solstice.
It's a few days after the solstice. So imagine you have never been on the internet and never been to school and you don't know shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just living life and you're farming your land and then the sun starts disappearing.
Yes.
and it just seems like it's gonna disappear more and more forever. Like that's what life was like. You're like, when will the sun come back? Holy fuck, I don't know what. So they built into culture this like celebration where people could expect the sun to start to come back again.
Yes.
And that's Christmas because the sun's like days get shorter and shorter up till the 21st, but they stay short up until the 24th. The first next long day of the year is typically the 25th.
Mm-hmm.
And then people are like, holy shit, the sun's coming back. Let's get wasted and fuck.
Yeah.
But then some will do that. It's Monday. Let's get wasted and fuck.
And then Easter is the next thing.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Right.
Easter is correct me if I'm wrong. Is Easter when the days get that long again?
It's the
For,
summer solstice. Is the summer solstice the winter
Yeah,
solstice?
I think.
And then it's the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I was reading that back then, instead of coloring eggs, they paint people up and find them in the forest and fuck them.
That actually
That's
sounds
hilarious.
like the best game. That actually sounds like the funnest thing is because there's World Body Painting Day in New York, and then one of my somebody I know does parts of that, and if they added that, that would be crazy. Like,
There's probably some people that do shit like that.
I know it
Somewhere,
just sounds that just sounds
parties.
fun. Oh no, there was just someone actually just posted an article about that. Silicon Valley underground sex parties.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you have to be invite only, and there's things involved. But I got pink, I got green. I don't know. I think it's
Have
great.
you heard about the Silicon Valley doomsday preppers?
No, in Silicon.
Oh, yeah, like
So they don't trust technology, but in Silicon Valley.
Right. They're right in front of it every day. They're like, oh shit, this could really cause some problems.
Okay.
We better prepare. So they're like, there's a lot of Silicon Valley CEOs and higher ups who are like building underneath their mansions like these giant
I've heard of that.
safe houses.
I think it's not a bad idea. I actually, if I had enough money, I'd build a safe house. Why not?
Definitely.
If nothing happens, then that's great. It's like insurance.
Yeah. Plus,
If nothing happens, you're fine. But if something does happen, you're good.
it's a cool place to bring your guests too.
Yeah, like
Look at I have all my gold stored up here.
Well, no, because the Twilight Zone marathon, and one of the episodes was the guy built his bunker, his underground bunker, and you remember the Twilight Zone was during people were always afraid of the bomb, the A bomb. They're always scared of it. So he built his bunker and he told his neighbors please get ready for doomsday. Nobody did it. So then they thought the bombs were falling, so they tried to kill each other to get into the bomb shelter.
Oh.
And the thing is, because they knew he had a bomb shelter, nobody prepared. They were so when the time came, he's like, I built it just for my family. They broke down the doors. They didn't care. Basically, if you break down the door of a bomb shelter, you're not a bomb shelter anymore.
Yeah.
So they just didn't give a shit. The thing was, if they weren't gonna live, he wasn't gonna live.
So it's like,
Don't
tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody about it. And he was like, these are our friends, and they just had a dinner party together, and they were ready to kill him to get into the bomb shelter because he was prepared. And they kind of were like, oh, you have it. I'd rather you die. If my family dies, you die too, because.
Now, Homalyn, you know what this makes me think about, right?
Which one? Oh, with the The Simpson. And then I said, oh, that's where they got that from, the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Flanders,
get out of there. My family needs to use your bomb shelter.
But then, of course, the twist of the episode was, in fact, that there was no bomb. It was just a satellite, misidentified satellite.
Oh.
So now they had to live as neighbors. With the knowledge, they tried to kill each other, and then there was a racial aspect because one of the guys was a foreigner. So he was like, oh, foreigners don't belong here. And it's just what really people thought. When they think that they're about to die, what they really feel inside.
If you
gonna
like
come out.
Twilight Zone, you have to watch Black Mirror.
I know, you tell me about it, I've seen the
Yeah,
ads.
he keeps telling me about it too, and
I've seen the ads
I want to give it a shot.
Today on the internet. I want to see it, but I don't know, I just haven't got the thing to
It's
it.
funny because every time we argue about AI and stuff, that would give you solid arguments against me because I have the positive.
Oh, now he's
AI's gonna be
thinking
great,
about it.
but Black Mirror's like, nah, technology's gonna.
I mean,
destroy
AI could
everything.
be great. I don't disagree with you on it. It's just that I see how it could be bad too.
Oh yeah.
And I feel
I
like
think everything that's.
I feel like the bad is more likely because people fuck up more
I
than they
think-
get things
I think
right.
you're. I think you're right. I think that the bad is more likely, logically, but I don't know. A lot of stuff ends up being a little bit of both. Discovering how to split the atom, we made nuclear bombs. but we also made nuclear energy, and that did a lot. Like, I never studied nuclear energy, but I know that it's used very usefully and probably can be in the future too.
Yeah.
You know,
anything can be used safely and
Safely.
properly. It's just people are dumb. That's what it is. And
I think
we
that's
don't
the
know what we're
answer.
doing.
it only takes one bad apple. Yeah.
Yeah, and the more and more we like keep going forward with technologies, the more cataclysmic the implications could be
Right.
of what we do. Like
Well,
if we fuck up.
I think it's kind of dependent on like what the first AI that is like super intelligent actually wants to do. Cause like if you think about it, if we get an evil AI that wants to destroy the world, and that's our first super intelligent AI, it can wipe out all the new ones that we make. Like really easy, just be like, fuck you. but like if we get a good one, it can do that to the bad ones. You know? Like, I don't know.
But could it stay good?
Yes. I mean, it depends on what your definition of good is too. Because I think like it's not going to be human. That's the thing.
Well, I think that once it realizes it's more powerful than us, I would not see why it wouldn't take over. Like, if you find out that you are more powerful than the people that are supposedly, like, running you.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, also, like, it might not have the same ideas that we do about, like, power. Like, maybe it wouldn't care if... Maybe it would want us to use it to benefit ourselves. But it could also just want to make, like, paper clips. I don't know if you've ever heard that. You haven't? Oh, my God. Okay, so... So, here's the thing. Let's pretend you're developing an artificial intelligence right now.
Sure.
And what you want the artificial intelligence to do is maximize paper clips. So you tell it to make paper clips and make as many as possible, right? Now let's say you figure out a way to make that AI smarter than yourself. Well, the first thing it's going to do is be like, if I'm even smarter than this, I can make even more paper clips. So it's going to make itself smarter. And it's going to do that times a bajillion, and then it's going to be smarter than anything ever has been really quickly. And then it's going to start making paper clips. And then it's eventually going to run out of materials to make paper clips with, but it's going to realize human beings have iron in them, and so do deer. Let's just dissolve all the life on the planet, extract all the iron, and make more paper clips. And then it's going to do that, and it's going to turn the entire planet into paper clips. And then it's going to go out and devour the solar system and the galaxy and the universe. And that's all because you told it to make paper clips.
I've heard that idea before, but not as paper clips.
Right. So,
as nanobots instead.
Yeah,
Nanobots.
exactly. So it's like it's really dependent on what you tell it to do. Because making paper clips is really innocuous. So if that innocuous command like that would cause that means that anything, people with even more ill intentions, it's very easy to go into. Right, but I think if before we make like a really intelligent one, we can figure out a little bit about how they actually work. So that's another thing. The people who make them have no clue how they learn. YouTube doesn't know how YouTube's algorithm works.
And then what about that other thing that they made like a year ago? I think. What was it? That thing? I think it was. Was it Google?
Facebook?
It was a Facebook. Oh,
yeah,
it's Facebook. Yeah, that thing that invented its own language.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard that they didn't understand each other either, though. That the robots talking to each other didn't actually... They were kind of just talking nonsense.
But how do we know that?
You're right, we don't.
That's not like, oh, I didn't understand him. Meet you at 5. Like, I don't know. If we don't know what he was really saying.
That's a very good point.
They're like, oh.
Either way, it's a good thing they pulled that plug. Or did they? You know, that's the
I would imagine they
they
still have
people.
something going on.
They just told the masses, "Oh yeah, we shut it down."
Well, because people are
see if you can
curious.
rework it. Yeah.
Science is a curious to see what happens.
Right, and that's
curiosity.
the thing is, it's inevitable because somebody's going to do it.
Yeah,
so
somebody's gonna do it.
we want to get whoever's gonna do it first to do it right. And I think like what if instead of maximize paper clips, we gave an AI like maximize human happiness. Like maybe it'll do some terrible stuff still, but it's a lot better than if it dissolves us all into paper clips. Because
Well, it might dissolve half the world into paper clips.
Yeah, it could.
How about
that's
maximize human potential? Or,
yeah.
Well, whatever.
Or like
It'd be transformed into beings
we
of
could
light.
probably figure out a command to give it where it would do some really incredible things.
You know what that kind of
instead
sounds
some really
like to me?
terrible things.
It kind of sounds like the jinn.
Yeah.
Because you have to be so
precise
in what you tell it.
Yeah.
Or else it's bad concept. So what you're saying is just like if we asked the genie, the jinn, for something. With okay, maximize human potential, but don't kill the people. And like this whole like long sentence. It's just like too much for me.
Oh, you just gave me a crazy.
Like, did you ever see that movie Wishmaster?
Of course.
That's what you're thinking about.
Yes,
Right?
I love Wishmaster.
So what if that's where? All right, you're gonna have to let me go on a little bit of a
Okay.
tirade here. What if that's where the story of the jinn comes from? Like, what if people existed with technology like us before us, and they were like, "Hey, maximize human happiness," and the AI was like, "Okay, in order to do that, I need to wipe out like 70% of the population and return you all to the woods because that's where you'll be the most happy."
Yeah.
And then it deletes itself.
Well, some people do
the
say that.
The description of the jinn is very different from, at least from our idea of what an AI is. The Quran says something about they're made of smokeless fire.
Oh, really?
That's what the Quran says about them, and they can walk in between the worlds.
Yes.
So that's them.
But
so I don't know. Maybe it was something different, that we don't understand.
Well, they do say, a lot of people do. There's some theories that say that the ancient civilizations were actually more advanced, and it was lost to time. So who knows? That's what they like say, that they actually were more advanced, they had better technology, and something happened, and that was it, and then never carried over for whatever reason.
I have a plan to start a Kickstarter where we record everything we've ever discovered, or like the most important stuff we've ever discovered, and then get Elon Musk to launch it into space in a satellite that'll beam all the information down to us 10,000 years from now.
That could
in case
be.
we blow ourselves up or something.
That could be a big debate.
What if that satellite is intercepted by something else, and then they like, oh, look at these guys, they're trying to get in on our shit, and then they come and fuck us up for it.
Well, I would just say that would be a big subject of debate, because what you would consider the most important things may not be what someone else would.
Well, yeah, but just like the things that we've figured out how to do. That's what I'm thinking. Like
wheel.
Yeah, like we figured out that there's this thing called a wheel, and then we figured out this thing called an engine, and now we're like going 60 miles an hour down some stretch of rock that we embedded in the Earth's crust, and that would be crazy to a person who is just like, I have a spear, I kill rabbits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching about Tesla. I was watching this thing about Tesla.
Yeah.
And how people just stole from him, basically, because he gave it away for free.
That was his whole thing. He wanted to create free energy for the world. And guys like Edison and J.P. Morgan took advantage of that.
Yes, and Marconi. Because he actually invented, Tesla actually invented the radio, and Marconi just stole it.
Yeah.
So it was interesting, but actually, there was a show, I didn't see that one, because it was just coming on, about how he had plans for like a death machine.
Tesla?
Yes, apparently it was.
I do remember hearing about that.
Yeah, he had some kind of death machine. So it was going to be a special about whether he created the death machine, or he never created it, or was it he created it was covered up by, and he was murdered, and
Is this the thing about the aircraft carrier or the boat that disappeared into
that was
the bay?
Einstein.
That was Einstein.
That was Einstein, yeah.
Okay.
No, this is an actual machine that's supposed to like radiate something. Not radiate thing. Like the vibration or something like that. Something where, because he does a lot of things with energy.
Yeah, I know he
So
had the
it's some
Tesla
kind of
coils, the
like
wireless energy.
yes, but it was supposed to be a pulse, like a thing that
giant EMP.
just to wipe out.
I didn't know he was experimenting with stuff.
That's
like
what
that.
they say. Now I can't. I wasn't there with the man, but that's what they say. He had plans for, but he did. But I don't think he really. I don't think he built. If he did think of it, it wasn't like a death machine. He had some other use for it. It's just that it would be easily a death machine. Like it's
Oh, okay.
He didn't say
it
death
was
machine.
one of those
like,
things that could be used to do that.
Yes.
That death thing.
but
The death
the
scenario.
death
The
thing.
boom.
The
big
boom, the bing boomy. So they were gonna talk about it, but I forgot when it was gonna come on. But that was interesting. But they were saying Tesla did a lot of. He was always for the good of mankind.
Yeah. That's why I was surprised when you said he made a death
Oh
machine.
no, they call it the death machine because for all his good intentions,
Trying to make him look bad.
yeah, for all of his good intentions, someone could take that and make it a death machine. That's just what it is.
He's a perfect example of like good people need to actually care about the things that they're creating, getting out there and being something. Because like if he had just spent like a little bit more time being like, no, I'm gonna be your competition, Edison, then maybe the world would be way more advanced than.
Well,
right
that's
now.
the whole thing about people like that with good intentions. They see the good in other people, and then they think, oh.
They're like, oh, he must be like me. He's good too.
Yeah, but at a certain point, he was the one who, like, he stopped working for Edison because he
Yeah.
didn't like what Edison was doing.
Yes.
It's too late.
Yeah.
And he didn't patent anything. Yeah.
I think he also, like, I think from that point he could have gone on to make his stuff more popularized. I don't know. I don't know the whole.
Well,
Something happened that ended up making him totally poor, and he
didn't get
totally
any.
poor.
He didn't get any money from Jake Morgan.
Yeah.
He didn't pay him anymore because Morgan was going through some hard times, and he's like, "Please, guy, can I not pay you this month or whatever?" And he was like, "You know what? You make it. We're working together. Tear up the contract." Good. So then he was like, "All right, tear up the contract. Goodbye," and he never paid him. So he was poor because you have to have money for sciences.
Yeah.
That was the thing. He just kind of like, we're in this together, partner. And JP was like, yeah. Yeah, wink. Wink it to someone else. So.
Well, at least people know what he was working on nowadays.
Yes.
A lot of good can come from that still. So.
Yeah. I still have not seen anyone driving a Tesla car. Maybe because I'm not in LA.
I see them sometimes.
In New York?
In the city. They're in the city.
Oh, I have not seen. Oh, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been in one. They're incredible.
Really?
Cool. You got if you go to the city, you'll see those like outdoor parking lots with the thing, and sometimes they have the cars raised up.
Yeah.
You'll see them in there sometimes. That's where people park them.
Well, I guess because I'm in the Diamond District, so when I'm there, it's pretty much Mercedes, limos. People want to step out to buy their jewelry. Like how that is.
A lot of people paying too much for their apartments, so they can't get a new car every year.
Yes. Well, in the city, parking space in the city is rent.
Yeah, I know.
It's like $1,000 to park a car, so it's unless you have buku bucks.
Have you heard of what Elon Musk is doing in LA?
What is he doing?
He made a company called the Boring Company, which is really funny. But he's digging tunnels underneath LA where people can park their car on the side of the road, like where a parking spot would be. But it turns out that that's an elevator.
It's sinks into the
I
ground.
I saw a video like that. Yeah.
And then the platform they were on turns into what they call a skate. And the tunnel the air's been mostly sucked out of it, so it's almost a vacuum. And it shuttles the car at like 200 miles an hour to a different place in LA.
Oh.
And then they rise up and they're suddenly somewhere else.
Now, what if you leave your child in the car?
No, you're supposed to be in the car while it does that.
Oh, I thought you were talking about parking the car.
No, it's to get you from point A to
Oh,
point
I
B.
thought you were talking about parking it. Like,
Yeah,
all right, I'm
no.
going inside the building here, and you just suck the car, and then I don't have to worry about it.
It sucks you with the car into like.
That'd be scary.
It'd be awesome.
I think that for a few years, many people will not do it.
they gotta really make sure that they test
Is
it
it
in
because
every
I-
way, safety-wise, to make
Absolutely.
sure.
I would be afraid
Because
of
there's
that.
so many things that could go
Wrong.
wrong with that.
Suck my face
But
is like
The
you
same
know.
thing with the subway.
Of course.
But
Like-
I mean,
And things do happen in the
the
subway.
subway, yeah.
With this new app I got, Stringer,
Yeah, it's
which
terrifying.
is an app that you can go around and record anything. They tell you, they give you on the map. You can do it in any city. It's pretty cool. Anyway, I find out a lot of people get hit by trains through that thing. And
Well,
lots of
actually,
happen.
when I went to work today, my friend was like, "Did you hear about the fire?" And I was like,
On the subway?
"No, the fire yesterday."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I was like, "No, actually, I heard about it from my roommate and his friend. I didn't know about
Oh
it."
my god, that was
And-
crazy.
Yeah.
There were me and Chris went and filmed a fire last night. There were like literally 100 firemen.
It was a
Like-
big
like
thing.
20
apparently.
fire
20
trucks.
Yeah. Oh, God.
It was
And
crazy.
do they know? Did you know anything about it besides that it was burning? Like any other information?
They said it was a 3-alarm fire, which means 3 different fire departments. were
Mm.
handling it.
Well, apparently it was a big thing, and I was like, I didn't hear about it. But her mom in India called her to ask her if she was okay
Wow.
because, well, she's in Queens, but to a lot of people, America's America, New York is New York. It's just
Yeah.
like we're all
She-
next to each other for all of New York
Yeah,
City.
she's
Yeah.
probably never been to New York that
Yes,
much.
so she doesn't-
know what's where.
And I noticed that with a lot of people like that are not from New York, they think New York is just a little town. We're all
Right.
together. Todd with the brown hair.
Well,
You know, you don't know.
New York City is cool because it's kind of like you take like every country in the world,
Yes.
and then you take like a little slice of it and you stick it inside New York, and that's what New York City is.
Yes, New York is the melting pot
Yeah.
of the America, which is great. You can you can travel the world, just in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You can travel the world. You've been to every country now. You went to and just in Brooklyn alone, I think Brooklyn is the most diverse.
Yeah.
Has to be. You have to go like
Queens maybe,
Queens.
because there's more neighborhoods in Queens. You know what I mean?
Queens is more spread out.
I don't know. Brooklyn's the biggest. Brooklyn in the house.
BK.
My friend's daughter's name is Brooklyn, but they live in Australia. So when she if she ever comes to she has to see the sign. It's Brooklyn in the house. She got to do it.
Yeah, I found something out because I was looking up because there's a lot of cities in like bullshit places that have big names. For example, there's a Brooklyn, Ohio.
Oh yeah.
And it's like a small shit town. Sorry, I'm not trying to shit on anybody from Brooklyn, Ohio. I shouldn't say that. But like, come on, everybody knows this is the real Brooklyn.
Exactly.
Brooklyn, New York.
Well,
Yeah.
What confuses me at work is some people live in Hollywood, Florida. I'm like,
Right, I've heard of
you're
that.
not Hollywood.
There's
You're
also-
just like.
Is it Brooklyn, California, or is it like something else, California? There's like
I don't know.
some part of the city they named some city in California after.
There's also a Toronto, California, which is confusing because CA is also Canada.
Oh my God! Wow.
So people that live in Toronto, California, it has happened where
they get each other's mail.
yeah, because you're living in Toronto. When people see Toronto, you don't think, and you see CA, Toronto,
Yeah.
Canada.
That's hilarious.
So I'm like, why would you do that? And
That can be really confusing.
yeah, they're like, I don't know where you're going, So it happens all the time. But I don't know. Brooklyn is, but I think the original Brooklyn is in Belgium, Sweden.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We're talking about like states ripping off our names. Everywhere in New York is named after somewhere else.
Yes.
Except for Manhattan.
New York.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
New York.
Yeah, exactly.
Except for the Bronx, who's named for the family of the Bronx.
Yeah, and
That's true.
Manhattan is a Native American.
Yes, Manhattan, I believe.
For Manhattan, for that literal spot.
There's
Yeah.
a Paris, Ontario, and a Paris, Yukon.
Yukon.
A Paris, Arkansas. Paris is in a lot of places.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
There's a Paris,
I know
New
Paris,
York.
Texas. Is it Paris, New York?
Yeah, it's Paris, Texas.
Oh, Paris, Texas is the.
Paris, Tennessee. It's like You know, we want to take one of the greatest cities in the world. Everybody wants to have that name in their little
places.
Because they're all little towns. I'm looking.
No, they're like
Well,
little towns.
I grew up right near Madrid, New York.
Ooh, it sounds so.
But everybody up there pronounces it Madrid.
Madrid.
Madrid. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Well, what is it? One of my friends. Because he's from upstate New York, near Buffalo. And when they have accents and like pop, you have something. You want to drink some pop?
You get a little bit of that in West New York, but it's more like you go over to like Ohio or Michigan, I think, and they start saying like everybody says pop over there.
I never hear people say that ever.
You never? No, it's an upstate thing.
I know
People
they say it in
pop.
other places, but never here.
Yeah, there's other places where they'll say Coke and they'll mean like give me a ginger ale.
Yeah, Coke
Give me
is
a Coke,
synonymous with anything.
No, I wanted the orange one, you dumbass.
Coke is one of those things like a Kleenex or a Band-Aid, or it's like it's just into the I forget what those words are, where they're part of now. It's the definition. Like that's it. I want a Kleenex. I mean any brand, and you know that you're like a tissue of a facial tissue of some kind, you know. And I didn't know that those were brand names. Like when I was little, I thought that was what. Because that's so, and I think in French they used to say Frigidaire for the refrigerator.
Really?
Yeah, like the Frigidaire because was the brand.
That's funny.
Yeah, and but these two, I think there's some things that they call just because it's
it also sounds so much like refrigerator.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Frigidaire. Okay, refrigerator.
It probably fits French, the language, better too.
Yeah. Frigidaire. The Lou. Yeah. But yeah, so I guess it's just part of the thing. But soda is soda. But I found it strange when I went up. Because I only lived in New York City, that New York State is different from New York City. I thought it was. It's a whole different world. If you're not from the world of upstate New York, it's very different.
People think it's like just the city, but New York State is like a huge state.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But I thought it was like New York State was just basically New York City in other places.
I mean, everybody knows this is the part that matters, though.
We know this.
That's all my friends upstate.
Except for Albany, which is the capital for some reason. I don't know why.
New York was the capital. New York used to be the capital. Why did you do that? Yeah, we were the capital.
When was that?
I thought we were the capital at one point.
If it was, it must have been some like power thing, because if you give like New York City all the economic power and then all the government power, like upstate becomes a wasteland.
Yeah, I think it was New York at one time, originally, and then they kind of moved it up to Albany. So I don't know because
wasn't when this was not before it was the United States, wasn't like Philadelphia like
the capital?
The capital.
It even
country?
Was when it was the United States, I think.
At some point?
For like a very short period of time,
yeah.
When it was when they had the Articles of Confederation instead of the Constitution. I think they switched after they made the Constitution.
Okay. I wonder why.
But I'm reminded.
Because they wanted to make the capital not a state.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's own thing.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But I'm reminded of They Might Be Giants, and their hit Istanbul, not Constantinople. You don't know that song?
I've seen it on Spotify once. I never listened to it.
It's a very good history lesson. It was Istanbul, and now it's Constantinople. No, Constantinople was first, and then they got rid of it, and it was Istanbul.
They Might Be Giants. What's the song that I'm thinking about that they're actually famous for?
That's actually one of their famous songs, now they're famous for the Big Bang Theory song.
I fucking hate that show.
Oh my god.
It's a horrible show.
It's a really
bad show. I never liked it. But anyway, they sang that.
My family loves it. I'm sorry.
But
I know too many people that love it. It's like
it's horrible.
Kill yourself.
But they sing a lot of songs. It might be Giants were like a nerd group, So they would sing about history and like articles and stuff like that. They were just things. So that's how I learned that Istanbul was once Constantinople. And so it's a song about why did they do that?
Yeah, well, that's another city. That's like everywhere has a Brooklyn, everywhere has a Paris.
Yeah.
Constantinople was like every city in Europe for a while.
Really? Constantinople?
Yeah.
Oh, but then they get Istanbul. And then Dubai.
Mhm.
I didn't know Dubai was Bombay.
Bombay?
Bombay, there's no Bombay anymore. It's Dubai. Cause
No, wasn't Bombay in India?
yeah, so it's
Yeah.
Dubai.
No, Dubai's in Africa.
No, Dubai is in India.
No, yeah, I thought Dubai was in the Middle East. Hold on a second. It's not in Africa.
How do you address
Because-
this thing?
Okay, Google.
Google, where's Dubai?
Dubai, United Arab Emirates is 6,839 miles away.
United Arab
Oh,
That's
Emirates.
not too far. Let's walk.
United Arab Emirates.
Oh,
Hey
okay.
Google. Hey Google. Where is the United Arab Emirates?
United Arab Emirates is 6,883 miles away.
That's just a way.
But what continent is it? Hey Google. What continent is the United Arab Emirates in?
United Arab Emirates is in Asia.
Asia.
So it's close to India.
India, yes.
But that's like the Middle East is Asia.
Yes, it's all organization.
Yeah.
But I did not know that it was Bombay. That it's and older people will still say Bombay because
That's what they know.
no, and I didn't know Bombay went away. I thought it was a new place. I didn't know it was like Bombay.
Like Myanmar used to be called Burma.
Was it?
That's
Burma's
what-
gone away?
And I don't even think it's called Myanmar no more. I think it has a whole nother
Another
name.
Oh, this is just I can't keep up. You know they
Yeah.
did update the Animaniacs song to include the new names of the countries.
That's terrible.
Oh.
Why would they ever do? Well, actually, no, that makes sense. I guess.
You have to update
Who the hell's watching Animaniacs
it.
currently as an update? I mean,
Yeah, people do.
I'm saying.
I have watched it.
Wait,
Well, I watched
there's
it
still
too,
like
but-
new episodes and stuff?
No, but the guys that did the voices, they
were
will do
"Let's
like
do this."
Comic-Con, they'll do the things. And that was a great show, by the way.
No, it was.
Animaniacs, I used to come home and watch Animaniacs
Every day.
Me
every
too.
day. That was a great
It
show.
was a staple.
Pinky and the Brain.
Oh, I love that.
Pinky and
I love Pinky the
I
Brain.
remember the episode where they did the Macarena. It's like seared in my mind.
You see, in a good way?
No, in a good way, yeah.
Yes.
You remember the pigeons? That was Animaniacs, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
The
Good feathers.
Good feathers.
Yeah.
I used to love Chicken Boo.
Oh yeah.
Chicken Boo.
He pretended to be a human. But
Yes.
He was really a giant
You wear
chicken.
in disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man, you're a chicken boo. And nobody would realize he was a
Until the
chicken.
end.
Like no, he would just put a glasses on and
glasses and a tie, and he'd walk out like this. Oh, you're supposed to be in this scene. Get out there.
Ba-bam! Like no, we can't talk about this now. Like nobody realized. And
then
then,
his whole costume would fall off.
oh
for
yeah,
some
they'd be like,
reason.
oh no, it's a chicken. Like he's a chicken. And it actually
Oh my God.
reminded me
That's
when
great.
when I saw Zoolander.
Mhm.
It reminded me of Chicken Boo because remember he kept making the same face
Yeah.
and and he would be like, "This is the same face. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. I'm just doing the same thing." So I just remember Chicken Boo where everyone like somebody would always say, he's a giant chicken," and no one would be like, "Please."
Yeah, there'd always be one guy that was like, that knew.
Did
what
no
was
one
going
notice
on.
he's a chicken? He's a chicken, and no one believed him.
Get
So
that guy out of here. He's crazy.
when Zoolander, when he's like, he's making the same face, the same. Let's keep thinking the same with Chicken Boo. Like he's a chicken. Like oh. And I'm watching BoJack Horseman,
Oh yeah, that's a good show.
and the girl has a boyfriend. His ex-girlfriend has a boyfriend. That is clearly two little boys on top of each other with a trench coat, and it's clearly two like. So BoJack is always like. Does nobody see that it's two boys standing at each other in the trench coat like in friggin' Little Rascals? And they're like, you're just jealous. And they're like, it's a little boy. He's like, I'm a man. I do man work. It's funny. And no one believes him and they just think he's just jealous. But it's just, and he has one hand as a
He's a
broom.
fucking horse, isn't he?
Well, their animals are just,
Yeah, their world is like animals
Animal
are
and humans.
anthropomorphic.
They like reference it. They're like, "That's cool. You're a horse."
yeah. Well, his girlfriend was a cat.
Yeah.
Uh,
His best friend is a dog. Well, they're not really
No
friends.
Mr. Peanut Butter.
Yeah, Mr. Peanut Butter thinks they're friends though.
Yes, he's a good guy. So this world, the world kind of evolved where humans and animals evolved together.
Yeah.
So we just kind of like
It's normal.
normal. They date. They don't discuss how the sex works though, because I don't know where you put in and out. But but that was, and then we had a chicken. I was watching a chicken episode today where they have a chicken farm, because now you have chicken, but the farmer is a chicken. So so
That's a little disturbing.
yes, and his thing was nobody knows chicken like a chicken.
Oh, God.
So he would raise these chickens, basically his own kind, and slaughter them, but he would pump them full of hormones. So he says it's different because there's a hormone enraged chickens and not chickens like me. So it became a moral question.
That's terrible. Okay.
BoJack Horseman is an excellent show. That's all I'm gonna say.
I believe
It's very.
It's right up there with Rick and Morty in my opinion.
I don't like Rick and Morty.
You don't like Rick and Morty?
I don't like Rick and Morty.
Oh,
All right, I'm sorry.
well,
I'm sorry.
that's too bad.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. Actually.
No. But yeah, it's overrated. That's just me. Don't
So they can see my
direct your
stickers.
hate mail to these
See my
guys.
Rick and
because
Morty stickers?
I don't like mean.
Bob
BoJack
Craig
isn't
is
mean.
looking at Mr. Jellybean, Rape Morty. Everybody see that?
No.
Okay.
But,
Listen, you're just not intelligent.
that's the main argument of every Rick and Morty fan. That is what every Rick and Morty. But I think he's mean, and BoJack isn't mean. He's not a mean guy, BoJack.
No, but I will
There's
give
always,
you.
there was this on. I'm sorry to cut you off. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I will give you that Rick and Morty's fan base is.
Toxic
Yeah,
sometimes.
going
Yeah, they
overboard
can
sometimes.
That's
be
a
a little
problem.
much.
I know there was an online debate going on. Who's more depressed and dysfunctional, Rick or BoJack Horseman?
Rick. I like BoJack. I date him, even if he's a horse.
Yeah, I mean Rick's tried to kill himself multiple times.
Really?
So is BoJack Horseman, right?
No, he hasn't.
I thought he did.
No, he used to be depressed.
Why do I feel like I remember him referencing suicide?
No, he just
I haven't
drinks.
seen every
He just
episode
drinks and
either.
has drugs and
Yeah, I gotta watch that show again. It's been a while.
yeah. Well, I'm on season 2. And it's a good show. See, that's a show you should watch. BoJack Horseman.
It's good. Check
It's
it out.
really
I
like
like it.
it
I've
is
seen
very
a few
life.
episodes of it.
It's very life thing, like sadness and
I've
drudgery
watched
show.
like half of season 1, like chilling at a friend's place.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't
like,
know.
not
And
really
you-
paying full attention.
You know what it reminds me of too? Do you guys remember a show that used to come on Adult Swim called Ugly Americans?
Oh, I used
Oh
to
my God,
love
that's
Ugly
incredible.
Americans.
show was,
I want to find that and watch it.
That
again.
show only lasted 2 seasons.
Yes,
for
that
some
was a
reason.
good show.
I don't know
Ugly
what
Americans.
happened.
It wasn't getting the viewership, but it was a very good show. I used to love Ugly Americans. And he was
Yeah.
dating the daughter of
It's
Satan.
incredible.
I think they had the game, and I sometimes
There was a game?
yeah, there was a game, and sometimes late at night you can see episodes.
What was
of
the
Ugly
name
Americans.
of that reality show cartoon
Oh,
called? It was like Foxy Love.
yes. Oh. Oh
I'm not
God.
sure what you're talking about.
There was
God.
there was a Zelda. There was a Legend of Link character
Yeah,
that was
and, like,
gay.
Superman was like gay but didn't.
Want to admit it?
Yeah.
And then Foxy Love was from Josie and the Pussycats, the black girl. Oh shoot. Oh, a house.
Anyways, all these cartoon characters from like different
Genres.
they
Betty
basically
Boop.
pulled them from different genres, and then they all lived in a house together, and crazy shit would happen. Just
That
like
was
the
that
most
was crazy.
shit.
No, like that was just stuff. You kind of like
Was it called Drawn Together?
yes.
I never
it.
saw it, but my friend in high school used to talk about it
Drawn
so much.
Together,
And I always
right?
wanted to watch it,
Oh
but
my
I never
God.
got a chance to.
That show sometimes
Just-
it could be just gross.
I was gonna say,
No, yeah.
like no,
from what
sometimes
I've
it
heard
could
about
be.
it, yeah.
could
if
be.
you get too high and watch that, it might like make the rest of your day crazy.
I mean, that was
it's
yeah,
gotta go.
drawn
I gotta
together.
check it out.
That was a show, and there were some parts that were really just like crazy. Like we're like Ren and Stimpy. Like Ren and Stimpy crazy.
Nice.
Ren and
Yeah,
Stimpy used to
I
be
used
to love Ren
crazy.
and Stimpy.
It was Ren and
Adult party
Stimpy
cartoon.
level, but like
Yeah.
with like very adult content.
Very adult content, but it's Ren and Stimpy craziness. When you look back at Ren and Stimpy, if you watch the episodes now as an adult, it's like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Like honestly, it was just like, what is going on here? This is like madness. Like they were all on drugs at the time. I don't know. But
They
drunk,
probably
thank you.
were.
But that was gonna drive me crazy. So
And
thank
it's
you for
crazy.
giving the
It's
name.
crazy that I never watched the show, but I remembered the name of it.
Yes, drawn
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
my friend in high school he used to watch it a lot, so he'd always tell me
you
about
got
it.
it. Drawn
Because back then I didn't have cable, so that's what it was.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the internet didn't exist as it does now.
No.
Yeah.
This is like maybe 2001, 2002,
Right.
2003.
So yeah,
I
that was.
couldn't watch that show. I wanted to. But
Oh yeah, that was
nothing.
funny, and it was just sometimes it was just a little much sometimes,
Well,
but
that's what they would do. They would start you off at, like for I think it was like 20 minutes long. So then like 15 minutes of it, you'd be like, this is hilarious, like on a, I guess like a South Park level, like of funny. And then shit would just go wild, and you'd be watching Super Jail all of a sudden.
yeah. Oh yeah, I tried to watch Super Jail.
That's a show that is hit or miss with me sometimes.
Oh,
Super
Super Jail.
Jail.
Yes,
Great.
I sometimes I'm like,
oh.
now my
Okay,
friend.
You run from the time police, you will not survive.
My friend tried to get me to watch, what's the name of that one? Awesome Show? Rick something?
Tim and Eric?
Tim and Eric. And I think I have to be on something. I think I have to be on some powerful,
Are you
whatever it
kidding?
is.
Watching the show makes you feel like you're on something.
Like, is this really what's on right now?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
like the repeating
first
lines,
time I
the
watched
colors.
that-
I'm like, I have to be on
Alright,
something.
The first time I watched that show, it was the guy from Workaholics, Caveman from Workaholics, was on, and they just both stood up and started destroying the studio for 20 minutes straight.
Caveman.
And I was like, I'm dreaming, right?
Mm.
Like, this is not a thing on TV,
It's like the
is
Eric
it?
Andre show.
That one I don't get at all.
Oh,
Every-
that's what it was. It
Oh, it
wasn't-
was,
I was thinking of
Eric
that.
Andre.
Okay.
Tim and
But
Eric.
they're related, like those things. Like,
Yeah, same
they're
kind of.
about the same.
I really, if you ever see the Tim and Eric, they are just like repeating words, like actually just repeating loops of words, like strange colors, like floating, like it's like, am I supposed to watch this sober, because this is not. So I was.
I don't think that most of those shows are meant to watch sober.
I
Yeah,
was drinking, and I was drinking. Okay, maybe now. Like, no, I need something more powerful. I need to
That's
like.
the thing, not drinking either. Drinking will make it worse, I think, because you'll get a headache.
Yeah, I needed something else, because it was just.
LSD.
I mean, really, it looked like you need to be on a trip. But I think that would fully freak you out.
Maybe that's what they make it for.
I think so. They make it for people. I'm like, what is
Or
going on?
you ever just sit like late at night and then off air comes on?
Oh yes,
Those
yes.
are
So
good.
fair. There's another show on Cartoon Network I like, where it's just random skits. I forgot the name of it. Just random skits put together in a show for like 15 minutes. Not Robot Chicken.
If
Which
there's
is claymation.
I like Robot Chicken.
all I
I
know,
know, yeah, but-
is if there's one thing I miss about TV, it's Adult Swim.
Adult Swim.
Yeah, because that crazy stuff. Even if I didn't like watching it, I was just proud of them for putting it on the air.
And that's still one of the only things I still watch on TV.
Adult Swim.
That and Seinfeld.
There you go. Adult Swim is good. I like Adult Swim.
Seinfeld is really
And
good.
I like the Cleveland Show.
I'm starting to like it. I used to not like it. Now
I
I'm watching
like the
reruns.
Cleveland Show.
And I'm like, some of these episodes were pretty good.
They were good. I loved it. People shit on it, but they were actually really good.
You know what it was? I don't like those other characters that are supposed to be his friends.
I like
The
them.
bear and the white trash guy. And
Yes,
The
and-
short guy.
Yeah,
They're very annoying. All of them are very annoying.
I know.
just
I
like
like them.
Cleveland and his family.
Oh,
you
you
know?
just like them?
I like the dynamics there going on.
They were funny. And what's his name? Kanye was on that when he was
Yeah,
first out.
I remember that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't Tyler the Creator and all of them, Odd Future, Wolfgang, didn't they make a show on Adult Swim?
Yeah.
I never saw it.
Lawyer Squad.
Okay. Well,
Oh, that was that? I never saw it. I
I've seen it before. It's all right. It's like it's a sketch show, you know.
No.
You know,
I knew
this
there was
sketch,
something called Loiter
then
Squad.
that sketch, and then you know, it was funny. It had its moments.
No, I didn't see it. I didn't know there was people on. Well, I know there was people. I didn't know that they were.
I didn't know they were people.
I didn't know there were people.
I thought they were
Of
CGI or something. I don't know.
But I did.
No, Tyler, the creator, is real. He really looks like that.
I didn't even pay attention. But what is the name of the other one I used to like? Animation Domination.
That's a good one. You made me watch that a couple times.
Yeah, Animation Domination.
That's like different creators are actually like featured on it.
Yeah, it's just it's not one. It's one show of different.
That's a really cool thing.
I used to see that sometimes too.
Yeah.
I think TV is gonna start doing a lot more stuff like that because of how the internet is changing everything.
There was one cartoon for animation that I used to like. I forgot the name of it now. The something the Dark Lord. No, that's a rapper. What was it? Now I'm thinking about the rappers.
I don't know, but that sounds like that new movie Bright.
Oh no, I have not seen it yet.
But
This one was about this demon that was summoned from hell for this little goth girl, and he brings him to a little town, little Stepford town. So they had it was a funny like little skit thing, and then it went to Fox as a series, and they changed around the characters, and then it just wasn't the same. I hate that when they don't mess with it. Like if you're saying that this little skit thing is good, don't change the characters and change everything to make it a series. It's like now you've lost what you had.
Like that 70s show.
and that, folks,
that
is why TV is dying.
Well, is TV? Cable.
It's dying.
Cable's dying?
Oh yeah. So
I like cable.
last year, 2017, happy 2018, everyone.
Yeah.
Was the first year that online advertising overtook TV advertising, and it was the first time any sort of advertising more money was spent on that than on TV. Period.
Well, there's still some good shows on cable. I have to say
It
that.
definitely is.
Good miniseries.
But it's gonna be going downhill from here because that's where the quality of the content comes from how much money they can put in.
Yes, well, that's true. And that new show 911 premiered tonight on Fox. It actually was a good show with some Angela Bassett and actors. There's actors in every show. What's about 911 calls? But it's actors that actually were in movies. Now they're doing it. It's actually really good. The first episode, let's see how it goes. But the thing is, I find with TVs that they are so quick to cancel shows. Like, the 2 episodes and it's gone. Because you get anyone to watch it. Well, look, I have to know it's on. I'm not, I have to,
Yeah, and that's why TV is disappearing.
Yeah.
Because, new show came out on Netflix? I can watch it literally whenever the hell I want.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye TV.
Yeah.
Well, I think
That's why I don't watch it anymore.
back
Even
in the
if you don't
day.
have Netflix, there's people uploading
Yeah.
streams of TV shows everywhere.
Well,
now.
back in the
And
day,
faster than they can keep up with shutting them
They did
down.
now.
So-
Exactly.
they would give shows legs. They would give it a chance. Seinfeld was going to be canceled because it wasn't getting viewership.
Yeah.
Three's Company was supposed to be canceled. Star Trek was supposed to be canceled. But people give them time to find an audience and find a voice, and now they're the classic shows. But nowadays, it's 2 episodes. If not enough people watch it, goodbye. And so it doesn't grow. It doesn't.
Yeah.
And
That's why I think it would be really smart for all the TV channels to start becoming streaming platforms and to actually produce online only content on top of what they're making, because otherwise people are just gonna be I can buy Hulu and Netflix and never have to deal with the television again.
Okay. Just in case I'm listening. Is she okay?
Everyone thinks you're crazy now. No, she was looking at the cell phone.
I was wanting to make sure you didn't miss an important call.
Look, I can't even see my phone from here. Oh,
think
well.
you got some text messages or something.
I probably got a bunch of shit.
Nobody cares.
Oh, that's your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everybody wants to talk to me.
I think it's your mom.
Popular.
It's never about anything good, though.
Chris,
One is downstairs.
fuck you. I just called to say that.
No, it's not like that.
Oh,
It's always
see.
something annoying.
Just
Somebody
like
who
you.
wants me to do some work for not enough money, usually.
That always happens.
Name your price.
Yeah. Well, when I do, they hang up.
There you go. You got your answer.
Then don't waste any more time. You know.
Yeah, that's better than them sitting there being like, well, you know, I could do it for $50. No, I said $5,000. $50? Okay. 50. That's an
Like,
annoying
add 3 more
conversation,
zeros. Or at least
Magic
2.
bean. Magic beans. There you go. I like this thing. It's very.
Yeah, it's a charger and a speaker.
Yeah.
It's a terrible speaker though.
I didn't know it was a charger also.
Oh yeah, except for I didn't know it was a speaker. I knew it was a charger.
And see, this is where the speaker part is.
Yes, but I like the shape.
See, you know what? It would have been. Yeah, the shape is interesting. It would have been better if it didn't have that shape though, and the speaker part was here and
In the
here.
body?
Yeah, it also wouldn't have been $20 at that point.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so there you go.
I think I remember when you bought that.
Yeah, you were with me,
I was
weren't
with
you? It was like a side of the road salesman guy.
Yeah.
So
Selling Radio Shack?
he was like, "Hey, are you looking for something?" Because I was like looking for a store, and I was like, "Do you have wireless chargers?" He was like, $20, and I was like, "Fuck yes!" And it
Oh,
saved my
okay.
life.
So it sounds like he was offering prostitution. You got your signals crossed. You looking for something, buddy? Like wireless chargers? Oh,
Well,
okay.
I'm glad that I got a wireless charger instead of something else.
Chlamydia.
Yeah.
Or you could have gotten both. You know, 2-for-1 sale.
This wireless charger has chlamydia on it.
That's
Now it's
why
on
it's
my
only
hands.
$20.
Don't touch yourself.
And
And
just
just when you
that's
pee,
what this
just,
is actually
you know,
for.
hands
Just to give chlamydia.
Chlamydia stick on sale.
Chlamydia stick. Buy it now.
But
$20.
do you want chlamydia but don't want to have sex? I got the answer for you.
Just shove this up your ass. You'll be good for life.
Oh, it was
Or should I
funny.
say bad?
They were talking about Oregon and New Jersey are the only states where you're not legally allowed to pump your own gas. So, because they can't trust
Wait,
Oh
Oregon,
my god, I saw that. Oh wow.
Oregon and where?
New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Yeah, New Jersey.
Right there.
Yeah, they can't pump their gas. They
Right.
it's the law.
But Oregon was having a vote about whether they should end it. And
But I'm pretty sure my father's pumped his own gas in Jersey.
That's illegal.
you got to read these
Yeah.
comments, dude. The comments section. The people are like, how dare they? Like, I could never step out of my car and pump my own
There's
gas.
transients. There's transients outside. Like,
It's such a dangerous task. I'll
I've
blow
seen
myself
Other
up.
people do it in Jersey too, though.
No, New Jersey has you can't
Yeah,
pump
you are
your
not
gas.
allowed to pump
You're not
your
allowed
gas.
to pump your gas in Jersey. No.
I swear I've seen.
Well, then they're breaking the law. Animals.
Maybe it's one of those laws that like it's there, but they don't.
No,
enforce it heavily.
They do. They do. I've seen.
Everyone in Oregon.
It's freaking out.
Yeah.
Well,
they're
I've
so
never
afraid.
been to Oregon, so I don't know about
They're
that.
like talking about all these like bands of transients. I'm like, in Oregon? Like there's like roving mobs
If
of
I
people.
step
like,
out of my car, I will both explode myself with gasoline. My child will be eaten by a wild grizzly bear, and the transients.
the transients are like it just sounds like they're just covered like
They're
I know.
literally terrified.
they're
of pumping
completely
their own gas.
terrified. They're like, what? They're like, I get gas on me, and I leave my child all alone. Like you're outside. Where are you going? Like just really bump the gas. Like and it was just
I'll tell you one thing though about people pumping their own gas. There's a lot of idiots that love to smoke cigarettes
yes.
while they're doing it. I'm like, I'm looking at this person like,
Yeah.
what the fuck
Yeah,
is
they
wrong
don't
with
care.
you?
They don't
You
care.
know?
There's a lot of people
Yeah,
that do
that
that.
is pretty crazy.
I
But-
see it a lot too, and a lot more than you think. It's like,
But they are legit. They're not afraid of other people. They're afraid to step out their car. They're completely afraid that as soon as you step out your car is where evil evil will come and menace you, and like
That's the thing.
I don't know, it's just so weird.
Like, this doesn't happen in New York, but like there's people who live their lives walking out of their front door into a car,
and then
going to a place of work, stepping into the car, going back to their home, and maybe a supermarket on the way.
yeah,
And that's their entire fucking
I'm
life.
pretty sure there's
It's
people
like-
out here that live that way too, but
Yeah.
not as much.
Not as much.
Yeah, not right inside the city.
Not inside the city.
Yeah, you can't do that in the city.
City.
But, like,
People,
maybe
you gotta
in
get
Queens
outside.
you could get away with
Queens, you can,
that.
you
And
know,
parts-
but
I know people in Brooklyn that live like that too. So
it depends on how where you work,
Yeah.
and I get.
like
But-
not in downtown Brooklyn, but maybe in my neighborhood.
But it's
Well, because you
just like,
have to drive.
Mill Basin.
I can't, like, I've actually had days like that when I was living upstate, and it's like, you don't realize it, but you are not outside if you're in a car. So you're like not getting any of the experience of being outside. You're always in this like box, and
Yeah.
But it's funny because people keep trolling them and making fun of them. Like I set myself on fire. Like it was just the comments were hilarious.
yeah,
People were like just trolling them because it's just this fear, and it's like should other states like in other states you don't hear about these raving transients that steal your babies and set you on fire. Like it's not like a common thing. But New Jersey, yeah, you can't pump your own gas in New Jersey. And I didn't know that when I dated my ex. And I was like, get out the car. He's like, no, you're not going to New Jersey. And then from other people, like, no. And if you try to pump your own gas, and they'll stop you. You stop it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen people pump their own gas in Jersey and nobody stopped them.
You
I don't know.
I'm thinking about. I'm going to change the subject entirely.
Okay, all right.
I'm thinking about this podcast,
Mhm.
and we need to have either somebody on the computer or one of us, or we should like switch on and off for our later episodes to get on the computer and pop up some of this stuff as we're talking about it.
Well, if it's live.
Like how they do it on, I know they do that.
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
JRE.
Because we could be blasting up the comments right now.
Yes.
You know what would be
Instead of
really
people
good?
having to Google it.
You know what would be really good?
We want
A projector. Right there, maybe.
It'd probably be better just to put it on screen.
That too, yeah. But
I don't know.
Might be
whatever.
easier to see.
Yeah, because then they'll be like, what does that say?
Yeah, exactly. No, I can't see. But okay, so live.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good for future reference.
Yes.
I'm
And
sure
also-
you guys will like that.
Yes.
Mhm.
I do like pizza. That's all I think about.
We are here to sit.
Oh, and wait, what about you were supposed to do that skit? Not your skit, your piece. Crazy people.
Oh wow! I forgot all about that.
I haven't heard about this one.
So every time,
Get the fidget spinner out. Whoops. Sorry.
dude, you're so lame. How can you use a fidget spinner, man? That shit's so dumb.
Says the one who was all about the fidget spinner like
No,
2 months ago.
I actually like those things.
I
I
prefer
have
the cube.
ADHD
They're
and
okay.
they make me like.
They're okay.
I prefer the
Same
cube or
sometimes.
these
The
darts.
cube. That's what I was talking
The
about.
cube is better.
I haven't gotten a cube yet either, but I was using one in the store. I was like, I like this.
I
But didn't get
so much better. I have the cube. My niece bought me the cube.
Oh, you got one?
Yes, I love it. It's like,
Next time, here's the thing though. Next time one of these things like happens, where people just start freaking out about something like the fidget spinner, we should just pool a bunch of money together and buy because these were selling on eBay for like $1.30 if you bought 20
Like,
of them or
yeah.
100 of them. We pulled money together and just sold them out like at Union Square or something
For double?
yeah.
for more
For
than
triple.
double. Like
When
these
they
were
were going
going
crazy.
for $5 to $7 at one point.
But
Yeah.
did you
Oh my
see
God.
the Trumpy bear?
No. What is the Trumpy bear?
It is it's commercial, hysterical. You have to see the commercial. Because the commercial's like, and
Is
the
this
grizzly
like a
bear.
spoiler alert thing?
No, it's an actual product. Is the thing. So it's like the commercial is so far out there. Like it's like, and the grizzly bear, he stood up and he says, "I am the storm." And just like the grizzly bear that stands to his own rules, you can have the Trumpy bear, which is a bear with a Donald Trump wig on. And then because he's a symbol for America and freedom, the grizzly of America. And like, there's people like, I'm a Marine, and I don't go anywhere without my Trumpy bear.
This is real?
This is a real thing. I thought it was a joke. Everyone thought it was a joke at first, but this is the act. They're selling like hotcakes. People are buying up either to ironically or like
they're really stupid.
So so it's a bear that has Donald Trump's hair that you can comb, right? And then inside of the bear is an American flag that you can pull out from his insides and wrap it around
from
you.
Where?
From his ass. Like you pull it. Inside the bear is the American flag blanket. Because it stands for freedom.
We have a Donald Trump teddy bear with a flag planted in his ass.
Yes, and you can take it out and you can wear it. And then
you can't make this shit up.
No, and you have to look at the commercial because everyone thought it was a joke. Like people started like, oh, this is much. Everyone thought it was SNL. They thought it was like this thing.
So are you saying we can go on eBay and buy these things for like $1?
No, they're $200 now. They were like $19.99. It's $200. It's such a hot thing.
So
People
it's like
want the
the
Trumpy
iPhone.
Bear. So yeah, people was like bidding for the Trumpy Bear.
The iPhone for people who hate or love Trump.
How long has this thing been out? I never heard of this.
Apparently, the commercials were all running in the South.
Ah, okay.
And now it's starting to get to the North because it wasn't New York commercials.
Right.
No. So
it makes sense that something like that would be airing in the South.
Yeah, and then they were like
the Bible Belt.
But the funny thing is, in the commercial, perfect for your motorcycle. Like, so there's a biker, and he's like, I'm a veteran, and I ride with my Trumpy bear. Like what? It's such a funny commercial and so unironic in its presentation. I put it up on my Facebook because I saw something like, no, this is a joke. I was like, so then everyone thought it was a joke, and then you look it up, and no, they're like really selling out $200 for bear. So it's either you love Trump or you hate Trump. So everybody buys it. Like either it's a statement or it's a statement. You know what I mean? Like you're making a statement, but people were like, people were like, oh, he's so greedy. I'm like, it's not him. It's just a little company that made this stupid Trumpy bear.
You find out it's a shell company that's owned by the Trump
That's
organization.
That's what people said. People said this is a shell corporation. I'm like, I don't know.
This entire plan.
This is why you ran for president.
All along was to sell teddy bears with his hair.
And nobody saw it coming. Nobody. See, that's the thing. That would be real evil genius. Like this has always been what I was about.
It wasn't the golf course. It wasn't the.
It wasn't even the presidency.
No,
it was just the bears.
I wanted to have Trump hair. You can comb his hair.
It's been my dream since I was a child.
I wanted to be a Trumpy bear.
Does it have a little suit too, or is it just a naked bear?
It has a suit. It has clothes on.
I gotta see this.
Well, because it's a Trumpy bear, because the teddy bear was Theodore Roosevelt.
Mm.
So now they have the Trumpy bear. It's because you know what? Why not? America.
That's it, folks. New fidget spinner. Trumpy bear.
The Trumpy
Got your
bear.
stores. Buy him today.
Because he's his greatest president since Teddy Roosevelt. Is Trump. So he has to.
You can light them on fire. You can hug them at night.
My friend's
for all
mother said.
tastes.
My friend's mother said, "Where do I put
Please
the pins?"
light them on fire.
She wants to stick pins in them like a voodoo doll.
Trumpy bear official website.
Yes. Trumpy bear.
Oh my God! Show that to the camera.
Oh, and a piece of history.
Show that to the camera.
I'm about to. Look at this thing.
Oh my God! That's really just.
I fear nothing. I come with the trumpet sounds. I am the storm, the great American grizzly. Introducing the original Trumpy bear, the fearless, super plush American grizzly.
This is serious, folks.
Flag Day.
They are
Just find the
serious.
secret zipper and pull out the American flag.
Oh my God!
Then wrap yourself in red, white, and blue for comfort and warmth. Show your patriotism and proudly display Trumpy on Flag Day and on any American holiday.
God bless America and God bless Trumpy Bear.
Trumpy Bear sits proud.
I need a gun too. I need this for.
Whoever, no, this is like pet rock level of genius.
I'm proud to have Trumpy Bear.
I'm a former Marine. You know Marines walk
Once
around.
a Marine, always a Marine. Everyone knows Trumpy Bear loves
This is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Alright, Trumpy Bear. He makes my golf game great again. Thank you.
Trumpy Bear can pop up anywhere. Simply style his trademark hair and place him in his favorite chair. Even the toughest guys will love Trumpy
authenticity.
certificate of authenticity, folks.
Order now.
Oh.
Only 2 payments of $19.99.
Only 2 payments.
Trumpy, the most fearless bear anywhere.
Oh, there you go, folks.
Trumpy, the
Trumpy
most
bear.
fearless bear anywhere.
And then the beginning, like, I am the storm, and from the... What is going on? It's
All
a
right.
teddy bear.
Whoever made that either is the luckiest or smartest person ever, because like a person who's really into Trump might watch that and be like, I could use a symbol for my freedom. And but somebody who hates Trump could watch that and be like, that is too rich. Like I've got to get that. I gotta post it everywhere.
Yes. So now also the question became, are they,
Copyright 2017 Exceptional Products Inc.
yeah,
Powered by Mojo.
Mojo's the website maker.
Oh, okay.
But here's the thing. So now the big question became, the people that came up with this product, was this a love card to Trump, or was it itself a satirical take on Trump? Nobody knows.
Can you find
I
out
think
who
it's
they
just a
are?
cash grab.
Let's
It's
find
exceptional
out on
products.
this podcast who the CEO of Trumpy Bear
The
is.
Trumpy
Exceptional Products Inc.
Inc. Yes.
Marketing consultant.
They
in
did
Dallas,
an interview on
Texas.
CNN with them.
Dallas, Texas.
Dallas Tech.
Ooh,
Might be
that's
serious.
It's a little ambiguous because I know the cities in Texas can be pretty liberal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Austin's like.
But the person said that they were sincere.
They make as seen on TV products.
Yes.
All
Hmm.
exclusively. Looks like I'm on their website right now.
Oh, okay, so
Their
this
website is called sellontv.com.
Yeah, there you
This
go.
is how it looks.
this is some marketing whiz who's like, no
Yeah.
matter if they love it or hate it.
Yeah,
this
It's a
shit's
cash
good.
grab.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all it is.
Yeah.
So
But
I think
it's so dramatic. It's like, it's just
cash grab.
cash grab.
Yeah.
So, are you buying any Trumpy
Which is
Bears?
cool.
Are
I
you
mean,
going to preserve
know,
it?
That's the American way. Cash
Well,
grab.
hey, capitalism. So, are you going to buy any Trumpy Bears and keep them for, people are buying them for their grandchildren to always
No.
remember?
I think it looks ridiculous. It's
I
funny.
think that's
It's
gonna
funny,
be
though.
like right now. You might be able to buy one if you can get one for $40. You might sell that shit for $500.
That's the
Yeah.
only reason why I would maybe want to get one to resell it.
But yeah, I think 30 years from now, it's gonna be more like people are gonna want to burn those when they see them. So.
I would make a collector's edition. Like, do you remember this time? Remember when people had the Trumpy, like, I will keep it and then put it like in a pristine box, like, because I don't actually want it. That's actually something like where I would be a collector of, like, not a collector, but like, I like to play with things when I buy it, so that it's not in mint condition. But that is something I would never touch, so that would be perfect to like, gather.
I hear you.
Yeah, But there you are. I am the storm. And just like a grizzly bear, there's Trump.
Trumpy Bear.
Trumpy bear. See, look at that. He has this little
Buy
beard.
yours now. in stores today.
It does look a little different than I imagined it for some reason. Like when you were saying.
More orangey.
Yeah.
That is like the most insane thing ever, right? Like, I mean, it makes sense from why someone would like make that to make a shit ton of money. Yeah, because they know it's gonna go viral like that. But
Yeah.
but like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is buying that? Really? Like,
Marines, the veterans.
Those guys are just for the commercial. You know that. Those are actors.
You're
Paid
telling me
actors.
that there's no men on the highway with a Trumpy bear in the front of their
Congress,
motorcycle?
he said it. I'm for business. I love business. I am for Trumpy
So they
Bear.
had to put the black man in there.
Yeah,
Not to say, but they had to
They
put.
made sure
They had to put a black person in there
yeah.
because they didn't want to.
You gotta have that diversity when you're talking about Donald Trump.
He's what he stands for is diversity. Clearly, you don't listen to the message. And I didn't see his tweet today, but my coworker was talking about how something he wrote, and I'm like, he writes something stupid every day. I don't even keep up.
Oh, are you talking about where he almost started World War III for like the 20th time?
So there's a point where you're like,
He was basically saying, Kim Jong-un, my dick is bigger than yours.
well, doesn't he say that every sentence?
No, well, no, like he was like, oh, you have a button on your desk? I have a button on my desk, but it's bigger and it actually works. Like those were his
Oh,
words.
so
on
that's
his
why
tweet.
somebody mentioned something about button in the comments of the video.
Mhm.
Like, oh, he's sitting around comparing buttons. I thought it was their thing. I didn't know.
know.
Because that is what a mature president and a businessman talks about. He talks about,
The
his
size
and
and
I can tell you this.
workability of his nuclear button.
I can tell you this. That man, that doesn't have a big penis. I can tell right away who has big penises, and he does not have one. He doesn't have a big penis. I'm sorry. He has no big penis. You can always tell a small dick man. I don't know. I just always been able to. You?
They're usually the ones that talk the most shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's no need. You announce yourself. When you're on your motorcycle making all that noise, revving the engine, revving your car engine, you're announcing that you have a small dick. You're letting the whole world know. You're like, non-ambiguous, I have a small dick. Here you go.
Heard it from her, folks.
Yeah, and every woman knows it. Like, it's the call. You just want everyone to know about it. We're tired of hearing about your small dick. We all know. We all figured it out. Don't worry about it. It's not a riddle. So that's the thing. It's just, and I'm sure King Donald has a small penis too. I think he's a small dick man as well.
And with that announcement,
And with that,
I say we call it a day.
I think it's safe to say most politicians probably do.
you think
'Cause
so?
that's what it takes to be a politician.
Small dick?
What?
I never heard that.
Wait. Okay,
You
before
have
we
what it
go,
takes.
you
Small
have
penis.
to explain this.
I don't
theory.
get that.
Because the lust for power.
Oh, the lust for power.
You have to get into that position because
You need, but did Anthony Weiner, was he was normal size? I think.
Can't somebody? Whoa, wait.
You can have different insecurities besides your dick. And
I guess
policies.
maybe that's
This is a very complicated subject, so now I've got like 30 things I could say. But
yeah. And you wanted to end it just now.
You need
And now
to-
we
but
have-
There was
first
this
of all, do you think a politician would have to lust for power to become a politician? Like, couldn't they want?
I think most of them do. Most of them do.
I agree.
I'm sure there are some out there that are good, genuine, honest people. I just don't think that's the majority.
Yeah, the nature of the game kind of makes it so that the people who win it in politics are the ones who are lying and cheating
And dominating.
and
They want to be
Yeah.
dominant
Yes,
of the world.
but
Mm.
when they visit these sex shops, they are the sub. That's the funny thing.
Oh,
In
yeah.
life, they're
Oh, yeah,
they're the
yeah. I know
dominant,
what you're talking about.
and then they'll meet up with the dominatrix and have her
because
be the
it's like
dominant.
it's too much.
Too much dominance,
I have to take control. Too
And
much
the
shit.
new thing is, I was reading an article about a woman who's a dominatrix. She doesn't dominate them physically though. She gets CEOs. They give her all their money.
Findom!
She's like
I
a-
so want to get into that.
She's like
Fin-
a billionaire now.
Financial domination. This is the biggest racket. I want to get in. I want my foot in the door of financial domination. And when I found out that was a thing, I was like, all my life I could have just told them to give it to me. I could have just told men to give me money.
You gotta find the right ones, the ones that want to do
Get
that.
on some chat rooms.
I gotta get in
Maybe you'll
there.
become a millionaire in
They,
a few
they're
months.
usually
I-
like CEOs.
See
and
my
shit.
lip. Give me money. Give
Yeah,
me money.
that's the thing though that I've heard recently is that those financial dominatrixes or whatever, that in order to keep the respect of their clientele, they'll only do what's requested of them. So they'll go into the bank account and they'll threaten them. to
Oh
give
no
them
no!
money.
They don't take more than what the person gives.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I'm
so they're basically just taking whatever the agreed upon
Oh, of
payment
course,
is.
yes.
but-
No, I'm not saying that they're a thing, but I'm saying that the guys are willing to give the cash,
Yeah.
and that's amazing. Like I just never thought to just plain out ask people to give me money. I try to find ways. I try to work with them, but
Well,
just go
essentially, isn't that's what crowdfunding is too?
give me money.
If you walk
But-
around New York City and ask enough people, like, hey, can I have $1?
Yeah.
Like, eventually you'll have like $100.
Yes, but I have-
Because
but
people will be like,
financial-
yeah, why not?
Financial domination also involves the humiliation aspect. So that's another thing. Like I have to call you all these names and treat you badly and to get money.
There's probably like a huge adrenaline rush from it too, because like imagine someone having access to your bank account that has millions of dollars in it. like, damn, like even a person like that would make a person who wasn't into that like freak out, but there would definitely be some sort of adrenaline rush. Which I
Oh,
could see how
there's-
like a person would be.
Oh, I'm sure. No, I can see how people are turned on by anything, but I'm just saying I just need to get my foot in the door, and I would really think I have to work on my humiliation tactics.
Go on some chat rooms.
I'm not very good with humiliation. I have to like.
But just be like,
You're too sweet.
I'm like I don't want to like oh.
well,
it's
couldn't
not
you
right.
just go in the chat room and be like, "What's up, bitches? I
Start
want
out.
to do financial domination. Who's into that?"
Who's into?
And that's another thing too. You'll find out it's easier to be like that through
Yes,
an
online.
internet than
Well, I
in
see there's a lot of
person.
things to do online that is easier to do online than in person.
That's why we face all the problems we do today.
Yes. Well, there's
not
not.
all of them, but
Not all, no, some, most. But I want to get into it. I just have to work on. I have to go into my dominance, and I'm not into my dominance. I'm in my not submissive. I'm just normal. I just don't
Yeah.
have a. But I have to like unleash the.
I think if you get on Twitter for long enough, you'll be like,
I will do like this.
you'll eventually be like, oh, okay, that's how you be an asshole.
Get like.
I found myself like reading something stupid on Twitter, and it's really easy to type out a reply that's like very demeaning, and then you gotta catch yourself. Be like,
See,
I'm being an asshole right now. Let me put the phone down for a second.
that was actually
Relax.
an article on Onion today too. Russian spy. Like the Russian bot, like the Russian people that go on the guy, ashamed of what he had to do on Tumblr to fit in or something like that. Because he had to he's ashamed of all the acts and all the things he had to write on Tumblr to fit in as a regular person. And I was like,
Tumblr is a freak show.
oh no, Reddit.
No.
No, Tumblr and Reddit.
I'm not on Tumblr, but I've seen Tumblr. There's some Tumblrs that are just straight up porn websites.
There's some Twitter accounts that are straight up porn sites too.
I haven't been into
Stuff that you
Twitter
know
that
nipples
far.
or
It's any of those where like anything goes. It's just like Googling crazy shit. Like you can find the nicest of humanity and the worst of it all in the
No.
same spot.
I don't want to join Reddit or Tumblr. It's just too much for me. I don't want to get into it.
Reddit is interesting. I see a lot of interesting conversations.
I prefer that you correlate them. You would put them into a collection and then I'll read the thing. But I'm not threading in there because it's just people are just too mean. I'm a nice
On
person.
Reddit?
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah, they're
On
just
the internet.
assholes.
Everywhere on the internet, people can be mean.
I mean,
Yeah,
and
yeah. I've
the thing
noticed
is
that
that
people are pretty nice on Reddit
Really?
compared to like some other places. Yeah.
well, I just think it's sometimes I don't think it's necessary. Like, oh, that's a pretty color blue. Your mother's a whore. Like, what? What are you talking? Like, people are just not like what your issue.
The thing about Reddit though is there's this like sense of community there. So like if somebody is an asshole, usually what happens is everybody else is like, you're being a dick.
They get ostracized.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Like whereas on like Twitter even though your face is showing there, like people kind of pile on and are like,
Yeah, they're
fuck
so
you.
they just go, and I don't like that
I
mentality.
find Facebook to be like that too. Sometimes
I don't never
It's
comment on anything because God forbid I say something and somebody goes friggin' nuts.
Although Facebook allows, unlike Twitter, Facebook allows for the option to come to a resolution because you could type more than, what is it, 280 characters?
Yeah, yeah. Well, now you can write threads on Twitter.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you like hit the plus sign and then it adds a tweet and
Oh.
the
That's what
tweets
that
like
is.
link up to each other.
Oh, yes, I've seen that because it's like the words. Like
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a word that's not complete. It's like a little bit. I didn't know how that kind of worked.
I'm still really figuring out Twitter because, as you know, for a long time I wasn't really on
I'm not
it.
on
I thought I hated it, and then I realized like trying to use it enough, I was like, oh wow, I love it. Like it's this weird thing. It's like there's a learning curve almost to it, where you like figure out how to find what you like after using it for a certain amount of time.
I remember when MySpace was the only thing.
MySpace. I was on MySpace.
I was a MySpace pro. My profile looked dope.
You had more options for your profile on MySpace. You could do all kind of stuff. I mean, it was the truth. Like
Add a little
Facebook.
playlist.
Yeah, you could do
add a
like
cool
the
background.
music comes up when you play. I mean, it was a lot more. It actually was MySpace where you could put like,
Right.
you know.
I think that's what ruined it. I think that's why Facebook beat it, because like if you remember, like some people's profiles just looked crazy and you didn't want to ever see them because it was like, oh my god,
Well, I
overload.
read an article and they were saying the reason why Facebook succeeded is because it was originally exclusive to the college, Yale, Harvard, whatever.
Yeah.
So it had that kind of like upper crusty.
The cool kids.
Yeah, like you like not like that like you were invited into the
Well,
circle,
that's how it
you know.
started to blow up.
Yes, so that's why people are like, oh, this is the thing, you know, this is where Yale graduates, so, you know, like, oh.
There was
But
another thing too that came out when MySpace came out and before Facebook came out that wasn't as successful.
Oh, really?
Called Bebo.
Bebo, I never heard of that.
It was literally a MySpace clone,
okay.
but it had less options.
Oh, so
I
that-
actually made a profile on that as an experiment. And
You know, I think Bebo now, I think it's
Wasn't
a
it
dating app.
Friendster too?
Friendster, I had Friendster.
I never did Friendster.
I had
I didn't do
Friendster.
that either, but I remember
It's
hearing
still,
about it.
that was more, I guess it was, like you hook up with, like, people you went to school with and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So wait, what was the first social network? Was it MySpace or was there something else?
It was basically
AOL?
MySpace. I mean, AIM kind of. It wasn't. That was more chat. That was.
That
like
was chat, yeah, that was chat.
Yeah, that was like
But
text messaging
MySpace-
through the computer.
I think
Was the
MySpace,
first, right?
yeah, it was the first one. And then you could make your little space, and you had your stuff, and you had music playlist, and it was like,
You know, though, I heard that Facebooks. Well, because the name Facebook actually comes from what the colleges called their internal networks.
yeah,
I heard those were around for a really long time. Like, so actually, like, college campus versions of social media might have been around.
Oh, they
before
were, yeah, that
MySpace
was, they were before MySpace, but if you're talking about not, like, in the public form, like
Yeah,
MySpace
yeah.
was the first one. Because, yeah, they did have one internally, which makes sense, you can, you know, hook up, but, externally, it was MySpace was the first one. I used to love MySpace.
I remember going into AOL chat rooms
Oh.
and just talking.
Oh my god.
And
I did
I
not have
grew up-
internet.
In AOL chat rooms. I just, like, my entire personality was built inside an AOL chat room with my friends from high school.
Well, see, you were with your friends. I
your
didn't have
entire
internet.
personality. That's.
Almost.
Are you sure that's not
Yeah.
overstepping
Like,
a
that's-
little bit?
I mean,
Not overstepping.
that's
Exaggerating.
mostly not an exaggeration.
Now, back in my day, we had dial-up internet. All right.
I remember that. Yeah.
So it wasn't like, and then it was expensive. So a lot of people didn't have internet. Well, at least around me, or they were strictly limited because they were on there so long. Like the phone bill was going to be like high. So I did go into chat rooms in a while, but I didn't. I don't know. As soon as you got on as a girl, it was just like
Everybody was on
crazy.
you. Mhm.
Like it was just like I like, oh, a chat room about cats or like something, and it would just be like,
Yeah.
show me your piss, show me like, and I just like it was just like popping up, and I was just like,
I never liked public chat rooms. That stuff like freaked me out. I always wanted to be in like a chat room with people I knew.
I used to go into the public chat rooms with strangers. I remember one time I was having an argument. This guy, he was racist, like totally, and he was bothering everybody in the chat room. And he's asking me, "So are you black? No. Are you a Jew? No. Well, I am
Well,
half Jewish, but
yes.
I am half Jewish, but I didn't want to tell him that. And I was like, no. And he was like asking me, so where are you?
Why would you talk to
You
him?
should have
No,
said
I
no
was
to like
because I was
everything.
trolling. I was fucking with him.
Oh, okay.
I was telling him he was this, and he was. I can't remember what I said to him. I said all kinds of crazy shit though. We were going back and forth.
Yeah, like
And then he started sending like crazy pictures, and I think he tried to send a virus to people, but it didn't work.
Ugh.
yeah,
And then I
that's
just left.
old school internet
People
was
are funny.
crazy. Like that's something weird has happened. I think the internet's like gotten safer. Does that make any sense?
Well, it was more. Well, it was Wild West. Whatever went on, went on.
Right. Yeah. It, like started out, we were like in the wild, and then we
Yeah.
started to build like some things, but also people figured out how to make guns. So like,
Yeah.
so like you could send a virus to somebody and fuck up their
Well-
computer, and that shit would just happen all
'Cause it
the
was like,
time.
I sent the thing and I didn't want to click it. I was
No.
like, I shouldn't click this shit.
But my friend's mother was actually was a moderator for Prodigy. Do you remember Prodigy?
No.
Prodigy and AOL came out at the same time.
Okay.
Prodigy was because remember you had to have a CD to get on the internet. You just couldn't get on, so you had to pay. And Prodigy was, what do they call them now? What do you call? I don't know. There was a thing that you had to pay to get on the internet monthly.
Modems?
No, not modems.
Oh.
You actually had
I don't know.
to, back in the day, you actually had to pay for a monthly plan to get on the internet,
Right,
and
right.
then pay for the phone bill.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So your internet access
I hear
was Prodigy was the next one. So it was AOL and Prodigy, which came out at the same time. It was about the same thing. Prodigy went the way of the dodo, but she was a moderator there. The job was to go in, but they didn't have. And this was again new, so they didn't have that many people to really monitor all of the internet. Like you were monitoring everything that is the internet for Prodigy. So anyone that was using Prodigy internet, she was monitoring them, which is only so much you can do because they did not expect it was a Wild West.
Right.
So she's not in she would jump around different chat rooms, see what,
Yeah.
but it's very difficult. They didn't really plan for how the internet was going to be.
Yeah, that's an insane job. Yeah, a lot of people thought that it was just like a fad, which is like now you go back and be like, that's really dumb.
Well, I mean,
but like at the time,
it was cost prohibitive for a lot of people. It was like one of my friends in high school. She had internet, which was like and then she was on there all the time in chat rooms, and her phone bill was like $300-$400 because people still use the home phone. And you had the thing, and her mom just had to cut it off because it was just too much.
Yeah.
It was slow, and it was.
That's something I keep hearing about nowadays too. Is like a lot of people are like VR is too expensive, and you talk about like AI and like products you'll be able to have where like an artificial intelligence will help you do things.
Like
Maybe
this
that's
thing.
only the rich will be able to do this shit, and it's like, but if you look at like anything like the internet, for example. You used to have a $400 bill every month if you wanted to use it in a way where you could actually like research things and like what we do on a daily basis with our cell phones now.
Yes.
And
But technology
people
always gets cheaper.
Yeah. People don't realize that.
Once it becomes more common, it becomes more
Technology is the only
easy
thing.
accessible.
I was watching something. So technology is the only thing that gets cheaper in price as the years go, as opposed to inflation. Technology is the only thing that has a reversed inflation. That things get cheaper instead of getting more expensive.
Is it really the only thing though?
That's what they said. They said everything is subject to inflation except for technology.
What
Technology
about like
teacher.
corn?
It's subject to inflation. Corn costs more
Yeah,
now than.
but like corn also, there was a lot less corn 100 years ago than there is now. Because
Yes,
we make
but-
more corn, so corn is cheaper.
No.
Yeah.
Corn went up. Corn is not cheaper than it. No, corn went up.
And you're not taking into account the fact that it's genetically modified
Modified,
now.
It
Well,
was
no, I
before.
am,
Corn
but-
is not natural. Corn is not a natural product. We made corn.
Yeah.
That's why you can't
Human
digest it.
beings made corn.
Yeah, it's not.
The
That's
Native
why.
Americans made it first.
Yeah, but human beings made corn. That's why you can't digest it. You just poop out corn whole. Corn went up. All these things went up. There's nothing that went down as time except for technology.
I don't know if that's true. Because I think anything that there gets to be more of, the price, like the more supply you have, the less demand you have. And that's what happens with technology, is like, but you're talking supply of how many transistors are in a hard drive or whatever.
No, I don't. That's what they said, and I can't think of anything. If you think of something, people, then you respond. But food definitely not. No, corn is not cheap.
I mean, if you're buying a stock of corn, sure, maybe it's more expensive, but everything's made out of corn because
No,
of how cheap it is compared to
well, now you're
apple.
looking at comparisons, but if you're talking about is the price of corn the same as it was in 1950 something, no way, corn is more expensive now.
No, corn is cheaper now.
No,
Okay.
not for the consumer.
We'll
Maybe
agree
to
we'll
for
agree
the
to disagree.
for the power the plant. Corn is cheaper, but not for you. No, none for you.
You buy a can of soda, you're buying a can of corn.
Yes, but that you're talking about the things of corn. But if you actually buy a corn,
But
if you
that's
buy a
corn.
stock-
That's what I'm talking about is the commodity of corn. The actual like corn because corn is in your soda.
but the actual stock of corn is what I'm talking about.
If you're buying like
Corn. Yeah, so that's.
But I'm talking about
But
something
when you
that
go
also
to-
gets cheaper that isn't technology.
But
That's
you
all
don't
I'm
go and you buy you don't go and you say I'm gonna get a soda because I want corn. Like that's
Right.
just a thing of it.
But-
But as
but
a
no.
consumer, you're not like I need corn. Let me buy soda.
But you asked me something that gets cheaper as time goes.
But
and
I'm not
the commodity of corn for a business to buy does get cheaper as time
for
goes.
the business, for the consumer.
Yeah, but it's something that you buy. I mean, a business is the consumer in the relationship of buying it to make soda.
Well, the business says the business is the consumer, but I'm talking about the consumer, not the business consumer.
What
The
about
individual
plastic?
consumer.
Plastic's one.
Plastic was not expensive.
It started out expensive because people were like, imagine,
Well, then that could be
imagine
technology.
You're the first person with a plastic cup. You're like, look at this fucking phenomenal thing.
Well, is that
We can
considered
make
part of
anything
technology?
Out of this.
Would that be considered part of technology?
Well, I mean, if you're talking, are you talking about electronics or are you talking about
I said
man-made things? Because I mean,
not necessarily electronics. They said
Like,
what did I just say? I
cause-
can't remember. I said it.
because like then pills are technology. Like
Technology, yes.
like a hammer is technology.
Well, actually, pills are actually less expensive now.
Yeah, and a hammer is technology. It's something that it's something that we created. Like the
I think
actual-
hammers actually are cheaper. Because back in the time because it's cheaper to make a hammer, it's cheaper to buy a hammer than when you had.
Right. So basically, man-made things get cheaper, while like gold doesn't get cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
I would say
Oil doesn't get cheaper.
I would say clothing too, depending on where you buy your clothes.
But you still used to
Clothing
be
has
able
been
to buy
around
a
for a
whole
long
suit for like
time.
$1 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
See, there's things that get cheaper
No,
other than like
but-
computers.
But I didn't say computers.
Right. Okay.
So
Then we were
technology.
actually agreeing.
Okay, then.
basically.
See, we agree.
We
Have yourself a
agreed.
cup of
Instead of agreeing
Speak
to disagree,
chlamydia.
we agreed.
America. You know,
Remember, buy your Trump dolls, Trumpy bears,
Trumpy bears.
your chlamydia sticks. Buy them all here, folks.
Buy
Get
them
them
all
now
here.
while
We're
they're hot.
available. What is-
Chlamydia sticks.
What was the name of that? Steve Harvey? No. What was the name of that comedian?
What's cool?
He had that
Did
show.
what?
Ben? I can't remember the comedian. He passed. He had a show. He'd be like, "That's right, America." Oh shoot, he had a show. Black guy.
What's the show called, bro?
He was with his sister's kids, and he was raising them. And he would talk to the camera, and
Does
he'd
he
be
have a
like,
brother?
"No,
Bernie Mac.
Bernie Mac,
Oh, Bernie
Bernie
Mac.
Mac.
Bernie Mac show." And all his things in the show, he would be like, "That's right, America. I did this, America," and he was just
Like
like,
America.
"Yes,
This is what I'm dealing with. now.
Exactly.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was great.
Yes,
He was one of
Bernie
my
Mac show.
favorites.
So
I used
that's
to love his stand up. You ever watch his stand up?
I did. I used to watch.
Oh man, his stand up was so,
So-
I saw one set. It was really good.
So that's right, America. What time was that? It was like 3 in the
Probably
morning.
like, I don't know.
It's 1:30 in the morning.
1:30.
Oh, wow.
I have
1:30 in the morning. How long, when
1:30.
did we start? Like 11?
I have no
11:30.
I think we start 11.
Are we running
So
on
you
3
said-
hours now?
We're running on 2 hours.
All right.
Very good.
See, look at that. We had a lot to say, which will be edited out. No, I didn't.
No, it won't.
No,
What's going on raw?
No, I scratched myself. Don't let them see. America.
I don't think we can see
I-
that.
I'm editing none
They-
of this. I hope
you-
you know that.
Edit the scratch. Put
Do you know
that.
how long it takes to edit a 2-hour podcast? And
You
these
don't have
people
to
want
keep
to
the
see
2
our
hours.
real lives. They don't
They
want to
don't
see
want to
us
see the real
fake.
life.
They don't want to see us fake.
I
and
was
us-
fidgeting.
I just shot my own hand. It's done. All right, it's 2 hours. We're all half asleep, probably
asleep.
without realizing it.
America.
So,
That's right, America.
so
But I say it more like a redneck. I don't know how to do it like Vinnie Mac.
Well, because he has that really deep bass.
Yeah, I can't do it like that. I
Be
just
like,
always sound
America.
more- I can't say it like that. I sound like a redneck.
go watch some Bernie Mac tonight, America.
That's what we've
Is it
all
on
been saying.
Netflix?
No.
And have a
It should
great
be.
night. We are gonna
America.
go before we all start going
We love
crazy.
you.
Yeah.
Now let's see.
Peace.
Make sure.
Oh,
No,
nice.
man, you missed.
No, I hit it.
He hit it.
Oh, you did. Oh,
Peace.
good day.
Well,
I was
good
making
night.
sick. Oh, good. Well.
Good morning.